Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ellyn with a Y Goes Live. Thank you so much for joining me on this 46th episode of Ellyn with a Y Goes Live. I can't believe 46 episodes.
Woo!
Thank you. As I have been doing every week, I would like to set an intention for this episode. You're supposed to come here and laugh and smile, and I hope this show brings a smile to your face. And my intention with this episode is to feel that you have the freedom to express yourself, whether it be with your hair, makeup, clothes, with your vocabulary, what you have to say, what you want to do, join. I think it's just important to feel like you have the freedom to express yourself in some arena of your life. And I think that that's really important. And that is the intention of this episode, and definitely inspired by my guest, Victor, who has the best fashion. Feels like a runway when you walk past me at work. I love. And he is a model, so he does walk the real runway, and we'll hear all about that later on in the episode. So I just want to dive right into hot topics. I love the British royal family. I love everything going on with them. I did get up very early to watch Meghan Markle's wedding with my family, my aunts, my grandmother. I love all of it. So I am really excited to talk about drama in the royal house. Last week, Harry and Meghan decided to basically Brexit from the royal family, and they want to live their life halfway out of the spotlight. So they're going to keep a toe in the royal life, and they are going to live part-time in like the UK and part-time in Canada. And so they kind of want to have like a more private life, and nobody knew that they were going to do this, and so the royal family was really shocked. And apparently the queen didn't know, and the castle didn't, like nobody knew. So I would infer that they decided to just like make it public, because if they tried to like continue talking it out and hashing it out internally, like sometimes you just have to rip the Band-Aid, say what it is, and then let the chips fall where they are and like have the family handle it. So that's what happened. So Meghan, whether she fled to Canada or was sent to Canada or just went of her own free will, she went to Canada not to be involved in the conversation that the Queen called with Prince Charles, Prince William, and Prince Harry. And apparently it was a bit of a family, like, you know, like one of those family meetings. And I know my parents are watching now, so I'm like gonna talk about, you know, when your family like calls a family meeting. I don't know if your family ever did this, but like we would have like a family meeting in the living room if something very serious was happening. I could just imagine like a royal scroll coming to your door being like, we're having a family meeting. Like it's already intimidating, and then it's like official and like with the Queen. So I think that Meghan and Harry truly are deciding to do this because Harry's life was in the public eye, and his mother basically was like murdered by the paparazzi. And I think that if he has the chance to give his child a different life, and if he has the chance to have his wife not be eviscerated by the tabloids, and if you guys like do a little Googling, even the difference in the headlines about Kate compared to Meghan, it's just very significantly different. There's a lot of like racism that goes into that with what's happening with the UK headlines. And so I just think that they don't want to have their son raised in the midst of all of this drama. Like they want him to like have a semi-normal life, especially because he's so far from the line of the throne. William already has 3 children that would succeed him. So Harry's not going to rise to the throne. Archie's not going to rise to the throne. So if you can give him some semblance of a normal life and protect his wife the way that he probably couldn't protect his mom because he was so little. I'm like, I don't know. We need to get like, instead of all these tabloid junkie crazies, like let's get some psychologists on some boards to talk about this stuff. Because for me, from an outside perspective, it's so clear he's just trying to protect his family and like also do it in a respectful way. And then the Queen came out today and said that they were gonna basically like let this happen, and they're gonna try and make it work. She did use the names Meghan and Harry instead of using the official like the Royal Sussexes. So I was just like, you don't want to be with us, then fine, but like you're going to have to make money on your own, because now they're going to have to be financially relatively stable on their own. But that leads me to believe that they're going to go after like Obama Netflix style deals where you're still like upper echelon, regal, like important, but like you're brokering deals that are like important and special. So like they're probably going to do like the whole Obama Netflix thing. They're probably going to meet with Oprah quite a bit. They did talk to the CEO of Disney, and I think Meghan booked a voiceover gig, but the money's going to charity. Yes. So who can say? I don't have the deals. I don't have the paperwork. That's like a favorite of this show. I say, who can say? Who can say? Only Meghan and Harry. And until they come on this show, speculation is queen. Moving on to my what to watch segment. My what to watch. You like the hand motion? Yes. I was in a complete binge hole addiction on Sundays. Catherine came in and out and saw me just like binging The Circle on Netflix. If you like Real World, Big Brother, any form of social media, this show is for you. The concept is that a set number of people move into an apartment complex individually. So they're separated from each other. And the only way that they can interact with each other is through this app, quote unquote, called The Circle. And you create a profile, you have profile photos, you have a bio, and you have a relationship status and an age. And then they like judge each other based on their profiles, and then they're allowed to like get to know each other and like chat in like group chats and then private chats. And it's very limited. Like you can't do video chat, you can't see each other in person, and you can only add new photos when like The Circle allows you. They're like, Circle, start a private chat with Chad. Message, hey Chad, how's your day going? Send. And then Chad's like, ooh, Ellyn messaged me. How do I play this? It is crazy because they're in their apartments alone just talking out loud and reacting because it's clear they forgot the cameras are there. It is, people get blocked by the highest rated influencers. It is wild. I watched the first episode, and by the end of the first episode, I was like, please let there be another episode. I was like, oh my God. It's week to week, but every week, every Wednesday, they drop 4 episodes. And this Wednesday, they're dropping the last 4.
I didn't know that.
It's so good. I'm going to binge it so hard. I love it. Guys, I'm not even kidding because I hate week to week shows. And I was like, oh God, reality on Netflix. Like, what's that going to be like? Michelle Batu, the comedian, she is the kind of like the voice and the host in between episodes and stuff, and she just like knocks all of them the whole time. It's hilarious. Oh, I forgot to mention, and you can catfish on the show, so you can like pretend to be somebody else, and like you have to hide it. It's yeah, you can catfish on the show too. So it's like we're not sure who a catfish is, and it's very interesting. It also talks. Oh my God, it also really dives into like confidence and like. Just like oh God, it's really like there are some topics that it's really, really good. I could not recommend it more highly. The Circle, and also you're welcome because I'm telling you about it the day before it ends, so you won't have to wait like I did for 3 days. Moving on to my food for thought segment. I have just the tiniest, littlest pet peeve, and this is like universal because I've worked in multiple offices now at my ripe age of 30, and I have experienced something that I just don't understand. When you're in a kitchen and you like empty your sink and you rinse out a bowl or a salad bowl or a grain or whatever, right? And you rinse out the bowl and you like either wash the bowl or you throw the bowl out. When there is like remnants of your food in the sink, why not help those things get to the drain catcher and then empty the drain catcher? I don't know, but like to me, that's like indicative of like psychopath behavior. Who do you think is cleaning up the grains? Who do you think is picking up the leftover lettuce and the beans? Is it this like somebody else will get it mentality? Because that's not gonna fly, okay? That doesn't work for me. If there's other people who are gonna get it, then it's like pass the buck, and then someone is gonna get the short end of the stick and have to clean up after you. And maybe it's because it's not your home and you feel like you don't have to, but like, I don't wanna touch it any more than you wanna touch it. So let's get a paper towel. Like, even if you have to use multiple, save the trees, sorry Greta. But like, literally, like just get lots of paper towels and like, and into the garbage. I don't know. I just like, I can't understand like leaving it for somebody else. Because the other person, it's not their job to do it. And I don't want to touch that. And this is a PSA for anyone else who is currently leaving things in the drain. Stop doing that. Not even, see, this is the problem. It's not even getting it to the drain. It's not even getting it to the catcher. It's just like out flat. Like, I don't like when it's out flat. Like, you didn't even try. Okay. Food for thought. Clean up your food. So that is the food for thought segment. Victor, you have a lot of fans who are excited to see you. So I would like to invite Victor Alexis onto the show right now. Woohoo! Victor, hi.
Hey
Look who all is here.
Hey guys.
Dara, Maritza, Lisa, everybody's here watching.
I love this lighting.
I know, isn't it? Yes. Who are you wearing?
I am actually wearing Willy Chavarria. He's a Mexican designer.
Yes.
Here from New York City.
Oh my God,
So
look at you.
shout out to my fellow Mexican, Miss Maritza.
Yes. For everyone who doesn't know Victor, you guys can follow Victor on Instagram at Victor. I like to ask the guests, how do we know each other?
We both work at Refinery 29. Well, I have the pleasure of working with such lovely gals at Refinery 29.
And we are graced with Victor's presence every day. He is you're like the shiniest, like fun, vibrant personality that just like sachets past my desk. You're like a celebrity in the office. Everybody knows you, and you're like cast in all of the fun things that we do, a lot of branded stuff that we do. Because everybody, Victor is a model. Obviously, how could you not tell? So Victor is a model, full-fledged, represented by an agency. Come on. Work, get that money. So how did this start?
So it actually started while I was at Refinery. I would say a lot had to do with the girls that I'm surrounded with, like Lisa in the photo department, who casted me for one of my first shoots, which was Bonobos. It kind of just like snowballed. After getting casted for so many different little gigs, my confidence went up. Like I just felt like even better about myself. And from there, I built a little portfolio and started looking for other opportunities. And a lot of people had just came to me and told me that I should start looking for an agent and to start getting represented. So with the help of Lilac, a fellow R29er in the casting department, I built a little list of different agencies that would cast boys like me, and I just kind of like started emailing them separately and just sending them my little portfolio and
went from there.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting that you talk about like Refinery kind of opened the door. I talked a lot about that in the beginning of doing this show, is that I wish I could gift working at Refinery to people, because the culture is so unique and so supportive of each other and empowering. I say a lot like, well, why not me? Like that, I feel like I got that from Refinery. Like, of course you'd belong in front of the camera. Like, of course you have a right to lean into whatever feels right to you. It makes you feel powerful. And I feel like that's such a blessing that we have, because now you're like full-fledged model. Victor walked at Fashion Week, like more than once. You can see his photo on Vogue Runway, my former employer. You can literally see pictures of him. What is that like?
Honestly, an outer body experience. It was so surreal. I never thought that I could even do that. Like, I grew up on America's Next Top Model and watching all that, like growing up with my mom. And I just never thought that someone like me would be able to do that. And I remember the first time someone approached me through Instagram after like posting all the little pictures from Refinery and like all the different gigs that I had booked. And someone reached out to me, and I didn't even think at that point, it was real. And I remember them telling me they wanted me for the runway show. And having my friends there was like so important for me. And like that was like the biggest thing, just having my support system front row and like them cheering me on, because it was still like such a like scary feeling putting myself out there for people to judge, especially in like the fashion world where everyone is just out to nitpick and judge you, which is a scary feeling, but also such a good feeling to be representing my little tiny island of Puerto Rico. Shout out to Puerto Rico.
Yes, Puerto Rico. And I actually wanted to touch upon that. So Victor, at work, outside of doing your day job and outside of modeling and being cast in a lot of editorial and branded shoots, Victor is on DNI, which is the Diversity and Inclusion Council at Refinery 29. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what that is like. So obviously we work in a very fun and awesome culture, but it's corporate. We work in a business, and what that is like, and how something I've talked about Somos with having Maritza on and talking with Serena Kerrigan. How does something like a program like the celebration of Somos Latinx come to fruition through DNI? And what is a DNI? Like, people don't always have those.
So, I guess D&I is just a collective of grassrooted groups that like wanted to make a difference within the company. So we just didn't want to just do the talking. We wanted to do the walk. And for us, it's basically looking for different opportunities to like bring to fruition like the different initiatives, such as like hiring more diverse candidates from different backgrounds, whether that's like not an Ivy League school and like schools that you might not necessarily even have in your radar, to also doing different activities that don't necessarily have to fall with like the Heritage Months. Like we wanted to fall outside of that and like do more of like something that felt more natural and just like celebratory throughout the entire year and not just necessarily within that specific month. Also, like whenever we have the opportunity to bring in talent or anything like that, being able to like bring those voices and like those different talents that might not necessarily have the ability to get casted in like these other companies, and just being like the voice and the change that we want to see in the world.
I talk a lot about that here on the show, you know, making room at the table. I talk to some people who feel like, well, I fought hard to be here too. And it's like, no one's negating your hard work. It's that you should be also working to bring everyone forward. And like, I get like emotional because that's like really important to me. And I feel like it's kind of it's how I was raised. And it's like, if I can get to the table, why shouldn't I work to help other people get to the table, versus looking at it as like like there's less, like there's not enough to go around. Like, we should look at things as like a story of abundance, and like there should be plenty of spots. Like, look at us, we're like squinched up in here. There's plenty of space at the table. And I love that. And I think that it's really special to find a place that not only has a council and says that they have it, but also supports it. They have like leadership sitting on those boards that are fighting for representation and making sure that everybody has a voice and it's fair, because it's really important.
There's a need for it, and that there's an audience for it, and that this is what the people really want.
So that's the responsibility, to lean in and make sure that we're all like speaking up and representing the world that we live in. Which I wanted to talk a little bit about the world we live in that you were representing for Puerto Rico in the office last week. I wanted to give you a moment to talk about Puerto Rico and what happened with the earthquakes.
So right now it's very unfortunate. I feel like the island hasn't caught a break since Maria, but unfortunately there was a 6.4 magnitude earthquake that hit the island last week. Since late December, there's been over 100 earthquakes that have impacted the island. Unfortunately, from very small scales to very big scales. So the biggest one being that hit last week, where like about like 60-70% of the island lost power and water. You know, unfortunately the government hasn't been a lot of help, but the spirit of the people is still there. So the Puerto Rican people have taken it upon themselves to go from town to town to help each other out. And I think that's like goes to show the Latin culture and like who we are as people, that even when those in power are not willing to help us out, we're there for each other. And we've really seen that, and we saw that in Maria, and we are seeing it now.
What's the name of the link so that everybody can link to it?
Well, we're gonna link below. One of my good friends from back home in Florida, she actually shared the organization with me because her sister is actually a volunteer and works with them, and actually was sent out in a mission once Maria hit, and they were able to help out a bunch of different families with building different homes and like just providing the different resources from water to food. I know that there's a lot going on in the world and it's very unfortunate, but I feel like just because there's a lot going on doesn't mean that this doesn't deserve the attention that it should get.
That we have a link that you guys can all check out and make a donation if you can, and if you can't, spread the word.
Yes, no donation is too small. Even
no, for real. Helps. For real. No, because think about it. Literally, if everyone just like donated $1, like just $1.
Yeah. Like
100 people, it's $100.
Exactly.
That's math. I just did very, very quick basic math. So I wanted to bring back a classic ELLYNWITHAY game.
Oh, I've been ready for that.
Yeah. So my sister and my brother-in-law got me this really awesome book of 3,000 would you rathers, and you can pick any number between 1 and 3,000, and I will go in the book and find that question.
So 17, 14.
Does 17 have 14 have any like sentimental value to you?
That was the first number that popped in my mind. I didn't want to go really low and I didn't want to go too high.
Okay. Okay. Would you rather eat out of a dumpster behind a restaurant or eat out of your neighbor's trash can?
Okay. So where is the restaurant? Because I already know my neighbor.
Okay.
So that would...
okay. Let's say you can pick the restaurant.
Okay, so if I were to pick the restaurant, then I feel like I would do... It's actually funny because I was watching this video on Viceland. Shout out to Viceland. And it was actually titled How to Live in New York for a Week in a zero, like, no
I
budget.
think I've seen this video.
Yes, and part of it was actually him dumpster diving, and he found some really good stuff behind the restaurant, so I feel like I would do the restaurant.
Yeah, I would pick the restaurant too.
Yeah.
You just go in back of like a really good restaurant.
Yeah.
Could be delicious.
Yeah. I would do Lucienne on First in Houston.
Ooh, look at you go.
If we're gonna dumpster dive, we're gonna do this right.
Yeah. There's a Cipriani like down the street, and I can always smell. I can smell like the fresh bread. I'm just like, throw that out. I'll eat that, no problem. Okay, so that was our game, which means I do not have a Noah Centineo news segment because we don't do that anymore. I just have Noah Centineo news. So it's not coming back. It's just that I have news. I am going to be going to his talk at the 92nd Street Y in New York. They billed him as like actor and activist. Bit of a stretch.
Everyone tag him on the video, please.
Yeah, tag Noah. But I'm going to go because it felt like I manifested this opportunity to like breathe the same oxygen as him, and it would be doing a disservice to the year of talking about Noah, year and a half of talking about Noah, if I didn't put myself in the same space as him, if I had the opportunity. Do you know what I mean? And also it's really funny because so many people were like pinging me and emailing me and messaging me like, you should go, you should go, you should go. You should go. I was like, okay, I'll go. So I'm going to go. I will come back. I will report here on the following Tuesday what is going down. So while I am no longer obsessed with him the way that I once was, allegedly, I'm going to go because I think that this is like a good close to it. And also, To All the Boys I Loved Before 2 is coming out in February.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hey, yes. Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm going to watch it once alone so that I can like watch it. And then I think I might have a viewing party. So if you want to come, you can let me know. I wanted to say thank you to everybody that is watching. I appreciate you tuning in week over week. Victor, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
This is so exciting.
I'm so glad.
And thanks everyone for tuning in. Hearts.
Yes, love all the hearts for everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope the show brought a smile to your face. That's the point of it. And if it did, I hope you can go out there and spread that and spread the joy. That's the point of doing this show. And I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody. Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching. To subscribe to my channel, click here. And to watch more videos, click here. Be sure to like, comment, and hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload a video.